So our mission here at Consolidated is we turn technology into solutions, connecting people and enriching how they work and live. We have the right network, we have the right products, and we have the right team. Partnering with Consolidated, you get the whole gambit, right? We're a top 10 US-based fiber network provider. We have diverse product portfolio, providing everything from not just speeds and feeds, but security and UCaaS and a bunch of other products and services you can offer your clients, which Rick will dive into a little later. But we're very committed. We're dedicated to your business. We're here to help you and be a resource for you and your clients and help wherever we can. So we've got a national footprint. As you can see, the dark blue states we have presence in. That's about just over 60,000 fiber route miles across over 20 states. We have over 15,000 on net and 121,000 plus near net buildings. So pretty good reach. We own and operate all of our fiber network end to end. And we provide diversity, redundancy within the network. More importantly, we've invested a ton of money into the organization. We have over $1 billion in capital investment since 2021. So we're in a major growth mode and expanding our reach and capabilities. Core network is built up to 100 gig, upgradable to 400 gigs. So we have the capacity and expansion to serve your clients' needs. And here's an overview. This is a kind of a dive into some of our different markets that we serve. You'll see California, our regional market, New England. We're heavy in the Northeast, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Upper Midwest, Twin Cities, Minneapolis area. We've got expansive network throughout Texas, as you see, Houston up to Dallas, and in between. And then also in the Pennsylvania and Illinois. These are just a few snapshots of some of our regional markets that we have, more presence in. But as you saw before, we're in a number of states. And with that, I will hand it off to Rick to dive into some of our products and services.
Thanks, Colin. So yeah, I wanted to take a couple minutes here and spend some time on this slide. So obviously, there's a lot of names on here, a lot of buzzwords on this slide, but we want to kind of run down, besides connectivity, besides internet, what does Consolidated offer to you and your customers? Obviously, we've become a bit of an MSP ourselves. We have some advanced solutions that we like to bundle with our connectivity. So from a connectivity perspective, as Colin mentioned, we operate nationally. We have a national core network that kind of stitches together several LEC territories within different states. And within those previous LEC territories and CLEC territories, we have a large fiber presence and growing every day. But on top of that class, that fiber, that connectivity, which can be, the form of internet or broadband, switched Ethernet, MPLS, VPN, we're still doing some of that. As a 100-year-old telco, we kind of lived switched Ethernet, MPLS for decades. Everybody's kind of moving to an SD-WAN model now, but we can still do those things, as well as dark fiber and DWDM or wave services, right? So keep in mind that if you have a customer that's looking for dark fiber between two data centers, or they need waves because they're looking at 10 gig plus point-to-point services, we do operate in that space. We have a large carrier operation as well, so we are well suited for those types of opportunities if they come up to the through your channel. On top of that, we have physical solutions or physical premise-based solutions like colo and data center, right? So we operate our own data centers in several markets, and then we are lit into many third-party data centers as well. So for internet or other WAN services, SD-WAN, we can deliver those from the branch or HQ locations back to those data centers. And we're working on a list of lit third-party data centers and capacities now, so we'll be able to get that out to you guys in the near future. So from a solutions perspective, everybody kind of knows us as an internet and voice company. So when you're looking at UCaaS or call center functionality, we can definitely deliver there, right? When we start talking about our solutions that are built on top of the network, we don't have a multi-million-dollar R&D budget, right? So what we've done over the course of the past 10 plus years is partnered with companies that are in the upper right quadrant, if you talk to Gartner, or are known for their enterprise class solutions, right? So when we're looking at UCaaS, we're talking about Cisco, we're talking about Broadworks specifically with their, for the back end, our ESBCs, again, we're looking at, best in class. When you're talking about the client, we're either looking at soft phones through WebEx and Teams, or we're using Poly for our physical devices. And then from a contact or call center perspective, when you talk about reporting, we're partnering with a Kixi. For call recording, we're partnering with Dubber, right? So what we've done is we've taken the best in class solutions, made sure we have resources and personnel on staff that can support those solutions, and then stitch them together on a case-by-case basis to provide a holistic, approach to all the needs that any particular customer might have. When we go down to that security space, it gets really interesting because we've been partnering with Palo Alto now since 2016 on a solution that we call Cloud Secure. What we're doing is not resold Prisma with Palo Alto. We're actually building a dedicated virtual instance of a Palo Alto firewall in our private cloud and dedicating that to each individual customer. And the way we get the data back or to and from that instance on the LAN side is either through SD-WAN or MPLS VPN. So securely transporting that traffic over dedicated services to the cloud firewall instance. And then we can bring in, over the internet, we can bring those services like remote access VPN or B2B VPNs into that as well. So on top of that, if any of you guys have interacted with Palo Alto or sold Palo Alto, you know that beyond the next gen firewall, there's a lot of other licenses that you would pay for in addition to the hardware in order to deploy that solution. We've taken all of that, the top 5 licenses, any hardware costs, any maintenance support costs, and built it into the MRC for our Cloud Secure product, right? So as part of that Cloud Secure solution, you have an MRC for your customer that's going to be inclusive of all that. And in addition, to just touch on some of the slides that are coming up from Julie, we have dedicated Palo Alto certified resources that are going to work with us pre-sales and your team's post-sales to make sure that implementation goes smoothly. And it's, they're going to recommend, industry, best practices when doing that. And then, of course, SD-WAN kind of tightly integrates with that to give you kind of a SASE type solution, but best of breed, right? It's not single vendor, but it's best of breed SD-WAN with VMware Velo. And we've been working with them as well for, 7 years before they were VMware, back when they were Velo. So that solution's fully baked. We've been deploying it for a long time now. And then that plus our Cloud Secure gets you 99% to SASE, depending on how what you consider to be SASE. And then, of course, DDoS mitigation, we can bolt that onto any internet or dedicated internet circuit. And, that we're doing, again, on net with our own scrubbing centers, and we're diverting that traffic at our edge, so long before it gets to the firewall interface. So hopefully, as you can see from this slide and kind of what I've talked about, we're not reinventing the wheel, but we're taking best-in-class solutions and putting them together to provide, a bundle of services to you and your customers that are going to give them that, Fortune 500 enterprise feel for, a single MRC. And along with it's going to come all the professional services that it takes to help you guys get that deployed.
Excellent. Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. So we're here to support you guys, essentially. So we've got a number of things available to you that we want to make sure that you're aware of, that truly we believe make a difference, right? We've got a dedicated channel support team that's around you, and we're going to get into that on the next slide on as far as the depth of that support team. We've got essentially some product training. Essentially, we will take you through in-depth training if that's what you want on our products and services. We've got a Partner One portal where we've got not only additional training on our products and services, but ultimately, live trainings that you can listen to at your leisure, essentially. So we've got Account Center, which is the customer portal where they can get in and actually look at the SD-WAN or the orchestrator for the VeloCloud, and you can get in and watch the traffic on that, or you can manage the cloud secure portal, essentially. And so there are a variety of things available to the customer that you as a partner can also get in and help manage from that perspective. Within the last month or so, we have partnered with ConnectBase, and ConnectBase is a serviceability and pricing tool. And we are currently working with the team over at Claire's to put this information into Charlie so that you guys can help identify on-net and near-net locations to our fiber footprint. And what that's going to allow you guys to do is not only identify locations that are a really good fit for us more quickly, but then actually find pricing for DIA, internet, and switched Ethernet a little bit more readily available, so you guys can hopefully turn things around a little bit more quickly when it's maybe just a real quick opportunity and maybe it's not in depth. We're certainly here to help you with those really intricate solutions, but if it's just hey, for this single location, I just need a single DIA opportunity, you can pull some budgetary pricing on your own and be on your way. So we are working on that quick availability for you guys to be in and out and on your way and self-serving in that aspect. So that's new for us here in May of 2024. We also have some unique approaches to design, delivery, and care that I'm going to get into in the next couple of slides with our SSEs, our implementation project managers, and our customer care and service delivery teams. And then ultimately, we're invested in your success. We want to sit down with you. We want to find out more about you and your business. So, we're interested in doing quarterly business reviews and finding out more about you and making sure that we're assisting you with your customers. If you've already sold them with CCI, hey, let us help you retain those customers. Let us help you upsell those customers, and let us help you keep that book of business within your realm. And the last component is we have a partner advisory board that we're very interested in what our partners think about our program and how we can better achieve success within our organization and within the program. So next slide. So support beyond the salesperson. So channel manager, Colin is your channel manager, and he is your point. So anything that you guys need, you're going to reach out to Colin first thing. He is going to be your quarterback. So first thing you do, reach out to Colin. From there, he's got a number of people behind him as part of the team to reach out to pull in when needed, essentially. We've got solution consultants, we've got sales engineers, we've got strategic solution engineers, and they all play different roles. If all you need is, you want someone to sit down and have a better business conversation with these customers to help them maybe understand why they need security in the cloud, or why they need SD-WAN with some additional redundancy, or maybe why they, managed Wi-Fi would be a better solution for them. That's a business conversation, and we're happy to sit down with you and your customer to help them better understand that. Then at some point during that conversation, we need to better understand how we're going to implement it. So at that point, Colin would pull in Rick, your sales engineer, to better understand, okay, now we need to get into the specifics, essentially. Let's pull in the engineer to better understand, based on the current customer's network, how do we implement that? What changes do we need to make? Rick is available to sit down with your customers beside you to go, okay, here's the current environment. What do we need to change? How do we need to make these changes? And what's the go forward plan from there? Then we've got the strategic solution engineers. And this is a little bit unique in the industry, and what we feel is a true differentiator within the industry for us. We've got a team that a lot of times will be post-signature that will work on the implementation. We have the ability to pull in these really technical people prior to your sale to get into the really nuts and bolts of it, to go, you know what, it would be better to do the design this way versus that way. These guys are the real true, like, this is how we're going to implement it based on the customer's current environment because of this or that, essentially. So they can get involved pre-sale. It's that same person that's going to carry that through all the way through the full implementation. They're going to be involved throughout the entire implementation. And where most carriers would say, hey, we've cut it over, it's the day of turn up, I'm done here. And 2 days later, when your customer is having issues because something didn't go right and you can't get a hold of the technician that turned things up and things are awry, our team holds on to that order for another 30 days. That same person that talked to your customer prior to signature, that talked to your customer during installation, holds on to that order for an additional 30 days to make sure that they have a true great customer experience and great turn up experience within that time frame, essentially. So we're here to make sure that your customer is here for the longevity with us. So next slide, Colin. Our service delivery team, we've made a change this year on how we go about implementing services, and we put 3 different tiers into our service delivery experience. Prior to this year, all of our service delivery team members were in a pod, essentially, and orders got assigned out, based on, whoever had the most bandwidth. What we've done this year is decided that everyone has different skill sets, and we want to create the best customer experience possible. So we've put all of our advanced service implementation project managers into a tier 1 bucket, and these guys are the ones that know all the ins and outs of the UCAS and the SD-WAN and all those really complex services. They know how to handle essentially those really complex projects, essentially. So anything that gets sold, from $1,000 and above, because that's what happens. A customer spends a certain dollar amount. Well, they tend to have all those advanced service products on their solution. So that spend kind of drives what's on the order. So they're going to get a more experienced project manager or implementation manager assigned to their order. Tier 2, essentially, they're not quite as advanced, but they're certainly a little bit more skilled. So that 500 to 999, essentially, there's a different skill set there. That's more of your dedicated, internet and just a little bit more basic services, but again, higher up. Whereas tier 3, someone just ordered broadband, and a lot of times it's kind of a cookie cutter solution, and ultimately they're going to get a different customer experience. The goal here is ultimately we're creating customer experience. So it's better helping your customers ensure that they want to come back to CCI and hopefully creating a better longevity as far as customer experience for you as a partner. So, Colin, next slide. And then we've kind of done the same with our care organization. So any of our $5,000 billers, we've got a premier, what we call a strategic account manager. 1,000 to 5,000 billers have a customer account manager. It's more of a group, but again, a little bit more specialized. And then the value, anyone spending less than that $1,000 is more of the just your round robin within our organization there. So again, the customer care functionality, we're really catering to, you're going to spend more with CCI, you'll get a little bit better customer care experience. So Colin, I'll hand it back to you.
Great, thanks, Julie, appreciate it. So we're going to jump in here. So how do you know when Consolidated is the right fit? So here's some items here. So basically, we're looking for multi-site enterprise, retail, healthcare, financial, any professional organization, multi-site. We're also looking for an organization that has about 50% or more of their locations within our footprint. That's really the sweet spot for us. Once we determine, it's a multi-site solution, we excel at winning. We are designing these. So we've done a lot of these multi-site DIA, SD-WAN, and cloud secure implementations where we're taking, 10, 15 plus locations. We're turning them up on DIA. Again, we're looking at 50% or greater, within our network. We're sourcing type 2s for sites that are outside of our network. And then, building in that one overall solution for the client to meet their objectives. We're looking at complex environments with limited trained on-staff resources. Like Julie had touched on, Rick had mentioned, we have our SSCs, we have our internal resources to help with the implementation. And ensuring that the design is the right fit for the client. We're using top vendors in that Gartner quadrant that Rick had mentioned. So we're partnering with best in class organizations, and we're also providing that single resource to help design and manage the solutions for the client. And again, all of this on a single bill. So after discovery, it's a great idea. We can provide an additional detail around the solution vendors you think that may be a good fit for the client. So again, whether that's, hey, we need some kind of a security application. Let's look at, our cloud secure. We need that site-to-site connectivity and resiliency. Let's look at SD-WAN, DIA, and then can't forget about UCaaS either. So anything there we can provide your client to help. And finally, so we've got some great incentives for our Q2 here in 24. These are all, I think, in your back office, but right now we're doing like a 3x incentive on new on-net or near-net locations with anything that's billing 250 or above. So we're really ramping up our incentives. We want to reward you for bringing business to Consolidated. We appreciate the partnership, and anything we can do to put more money in your pocket, we're here to help. All right, and that concludes our presentation. Looks like we're right at the 10 a.m. Pacific time mark. I think we're going to go ahead and open it up for questions, and let us know if you guys have anything on your mind you want to ask, or if you have any questions regarding any of the material we covered.
There was one question
like
I see in the chat. Yeah, do you guys offer Fortinet?
So I'll take that.
Okay.
Currently, the security solution we have is the one I mentioned, Cloud Secure. In conjunction with the DDoS mitigation and SD-WAN solutions from VMware. We do not currently have a SMB premise-based solution like Fortinet as part of our portfolio, but we're constantly looking at that. And one area that we are looking at is that small business to mid-market space, and if we need to bring in a small solution that might fit there. But today, no. The answer would be no.
All right. I think that wraps up our questions. You answered a lot during the presentation, so we really appreciate that. And we appreciate you coming on today. Thank you so much for everything.